the point of this podcast, obviously, is to hopefully introduce people to the world that is Angela's brain,
Yeah.
which is both fascinating and stupid at the same time. So, I mean, anything you want to ask Angela off the top of your head? Bear in mind, this is the person that when we were parked on a 1 in 3 gradient behind a car, and we started rolling back, and I said, "Oh God," and put the handbrake on more firmly. She said, "I thought it was the car in front rolling forward." Right? It was the steepest thing you've ever been. So steer clear of physics. That's all I'm saying. Ask her anything, but not physics.
Physics not a big subject with you.
No, science never was it.
No, nothing scientific.
Well, see, this is
really.
why you've got a problem. Must be why you've got a problem with evolution. Must be. Because if you got science, you'd see that it's the only way.
But I wasn't really bad at science. Like, I got
Right,
B's at
you only didn't
GCSE.
do
I'm not
evolution.
thickest of the thick. No, they did make us do evolution.
Did they?
Yeah.
And what did you say? I refused to do it because of religious beliefs.
No, I just didn't really get it at the
Right.
time.
Well, we've approached this the wrong angle. Right. Bible says we were made out of dust by God.
Are we really talking about evolution?
Do you believe?
yet?
Do you believe that? Right? Because remember, half an hour ago you said that the theory of evolution is a little bit too far-fetched. I think was the word you used.
Okay, let's go back to Genesis.
I just think
Do you
that
actually
people
believe-
have been around for like forever.
We haven't been around forever.
No. The Earth.
Think of the Big Bang.
The
There was
Earth has been
nothing.
aged to about 4.4 billion years, something like that.
It's only got about another billion years left or something.
What do you think about that?
Aren't men going to die out before women
Yes.
as well?
What?
No. There was a thing on the news, right, about the X and Y
please,
chromosomes.
explain.
There was.
That wouldn't
right?
happen.
About X and Y
What do you both
chromosomes.
need?
It
X
can
and
be
Y
it
chromosomes.
doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Apparently, men are going to die out sooner than women.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's not
The only way that
impossible.
could happen is that the last man could die a few years before the last woman. That's what could happen.
Or women found a way to mate with each other. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
That's
it's
what
not.
I'm
It's
To be
no,
honest.
but they're saying because
I
basically
think
you
they'd
only
get rid of
need
us.
one man for
They would
like
drive
lots of women. I mean, it's not an ideal situation. It's a bit sick, but women are more necessary than men. You need more women to populate than you do men.
You do, but here's the thing: they can create an artificial womb in a lab.
I thought you were going to say in a lad. I
In
was
a
like,
lab.
whoa.
That's the reproductive function of women, surely, isn't it? We've got formula milk. We can make an artificial
Oh,
womb.
but it's not the same, is it?
Yeah, you
Sure.
can
No,
grow
but
a baby
anyway,
in
you're
it.
ignorant.
You
This
can grow a
is
baby in it.
fact. They've done like scientific evidence.
What do you mean it's
really.
fact? Men are going to die first.
They've
It's not
done
fact. It
not
happens.
fact.
research.
It's
They've
not
done
fact.
research. They've done. Look on the internet. They've done research. It's something to do with the X and Y chromosomes. I don't understand
Chromosomes.
science.
You're putting in an N when you should. What
But-
do you mean? That's what you're telling us. You
How
just
can
said
men
there's
die
some
out
research.
first?
It's on the internet.
Internet.
It's something about chromosomes.
I'm
What's
not
on the
like,
internet?
I've
Something
not
about
got,
chromosomes, just-
what should
just
I
check it
know?
out.
Let's make up
Let's
this
just check
thing
it
about
out.
men dying out and like made up and
Well,
posted it on
don't-
the internet.
right,
I've
well,
not done
all
that.
I'm saying
it's
is-
true.
right.
It's other people
I
have
just
done
don't
the
see how it
research.
could
I
happen.
don't
I just don't
understand
see
it,
how
so
it
wouldn't
I'm
happen.
not in a position.
It wouldn't
to-
happen.
You're just jealous
Look,
because you're going to
what-
die out
no,
sooner. It's
Can
not
I just
for
tell
like
you what would
millions of
happen?
years.
Oh, thank
still.
God for that.
You've
That's
still got
all right.
ages. It's like,
Oh, have I? Oh, because I'm busy tomorrow. That's all. Right.
but it's true.
No,
They're
think
not
what would
there.
happen once
You're
it got
busy
to
tomorrow. You're
once
potting around the garden today.
Once
What are
it
you
got-
doing tomorrow?
Once it got to a ratio of 100 women to one man, they'd start saying, right, we need to have more babies, and therefore more males will be born, because roughly it's 50-50.
But you can't choose the sex.
No, but the chances
Well, I mean,
are,
you
if a
can,
woman has
but-
10 kids, 5 of them will be lads. That's the...
Well,
So if there was a shortage of
it doesn't depend on
men-
the woman, it depends on the bloke, doesn't it? If
I
the
know.
bloke's jetting
But it
out
doesn't
women,
matter.
it ain't going to work.
Do you
is
mean?
it?
Do you mean
What
that
do
there's over time there's going to be less and less men
Yeah.
because of the way?
Why?
So it's,
So eventually men are going to
but
die
think
out
about-
sooner than women.
no, they
No, they
won't.
won't.
No,
They
that
won't,
doesn't
though.
happen. It doesn't work. It
Why
doesn't
hasn't it
work.
happened already?
Because it's like a slow process. It's a gradual thing. It's not like overnight suddenly men start not being
Well,
born
hold on. If we take the
Don't work like
population,
that,
it's,
does it?
I think it's 49% men, 51% women, something
See,
like that.
more women.
Right. what do you think it was 100 million years ago? It can't have been 80% men, and men have been on a decline ever since. It can't.
Well, it would have started out like 50-50, wouldn't it?
Right. So over the whole over time up to now, 2009, we've lost 1%.
It's millions of years, right?
It
But
would
is
have
gonna
to be.
happen.
We have to live millions of years first. We haven't been.
We've only been around about 100 million years, is it? Which, relatively speaking, isn't that long, right?
But it's
So
gonna
1%
happen
in 100 million years. So
It's true.
you're talking about in 4.9 billion years, then, aren't you?
Yeah, but it's still going to
And
happen.
it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen because we'd control it. We'd step in.
We already know
They
enough
reckon
about
though.
genetics.
If we know it's going to happen, we
They
can
reckon
step in
because
and say,
apparently it's happened already in different species, and apparently they've evolved so that women can whatever. So apparently it's not an issue. They reckon we're going to evolve before it reaches that stage. But theoretically, men are supposed to die out first.
I just don't think it'll happen. It's not because I don't believe what you're saying.
Well, I mean,
just
we're not
think
going to
that
be
we'll
around
step.
to see it. So you know.
Well, I think the sun would die before that happened.
I
And
agree.
if the sun dies, then all life dies. Bacteria need, all life, plants, bacteria, and animals will all die without the sun.
Good bacteria and bad bacteria. I've never understood the difference. Like, how can... Do you know what I mean?
Well, one gives to charity, the other one... What do you mean? It's bacteria. It's a type of life form. There's only three.
I think
animals,
they mean
plants,
good and bad in
bacteria.
relation to the way
It affects your digestive
humans.
system.
Yeah.
It's good for you, or it's bad
Did
for
you see
you.
Yeah.
they've had to close Eton because of swine flu?
I did.
Bit of a tangent.
A
Eton
tangent.
College.
You
This
just
is a
think, oh,
completely
it just
different
serves the
subject.
posh people right for being so posh with their snobby holidays to Mexico. Do you know what I mean? Is that just me?
No, I see what you're saying.
How can you say that? It serves them right.
Well, I mean, they knew there was swine flu. Don't
Yeah,
know,
but people
do
in
you
the
know what
West
I mean?
Midlands have got it.
But you're assuming that.
I mean, yeah, I'm assuming
they
they
everyone
went
went
to
to
Mexico.
Mexico.
Everyone's been to
They
Mexico
might
who's
have
got
put
swine
it
flu. That's
somewhere
it, is it?
else. No, that's not true.
Sorry, I mean
Yeah.
That's rude.
Carry on. The ledge of this.
Let's all eat one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have none there.
Anything good in the news this week? And again, I don't want to stray into the sort of academic world of have I got news for you?
I was watching
Right.
Question Time last night.
Go
That
on.
was quite funny. Because like everyone kept saying, because there's this European election coming up, and everyone was saying like, what do they actually do in Europe? And like, no one actually understands what MPs do in Europe, and so they were like, so what are you going to do in Europe? And it always just kept coming back to the MPs' expenses scandal in the UK, and you just think, and it got to the end of this programme, and I am none the wiser on what people do in Europe, but they're still getting a 45% pay rise. And you just sit there and you think, I'd quite like a 45% pay rise. I could deal with that for being an MP. I could live with it.
I'm not surprised it kept going back to the expenses scandal though, because that's what's on everyone's minds at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Well, whilst I agree that is like a bad story to hit the headlines, I think there's other things to worry about without always coming back to this.
Certain areas are doing quite well though, out of the whole unemployment thing. Like apparently educational sectors are doing a lot better because a lot of people are retraining. So apparently they're all doing quite well out of it. And of course Citizens Advice Bureau, they're just snowed under.
The problem with the Citizens Advice Bureau is that it is just advice.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go to a law centre, if someone needs legal advice, then obviously you can have actual specific legal advice there.
But that's what you're for, isn't it, Greg? Mates' rights.